Oh, fucking baby. Oh, it's back. It's back again. Holy shit, this light is incredibly bright, and we have plenty to talk about today. Bitcoin. A bunch of tiers, I think, are incoming right now. Maybe not necessarily exactly at this moment, perhaps over the next couple weeks right here. Tiers or tears, that is. Some ripping tears for the intro music right there. I was debating playing some extremely nasty and very filthy dubstep. However, I suspected that the ears were maybe a little bit too Virgin-esque today, because that was going to be a bit too fucking intense, I do think. Anyways, with that said, I want to welcome everyone back to Krown's Crypto Cave. It is a lovely day over here from Helsinki, Finland. Nice and cold, which is good for me. Got my early morning walk in as well. What's up, Mr. Yasek? I see you, brother. Mr. Justin Young. There he is, Infinity. Holy shit, man. Little Prince. And who else do we got? I see Logan. I see Salmon. I see Nimbo. My fucking Nimbo. Hello, sir. Gohan's mom. Nacho Fiat. Holy shit, man. Tony. How you doing, Mr. Tony Struger? And oh my god, man. It is a full house today. We already have more than 100 likes on the video, which is kind of crazy. I think that's a new record before we even really start, so I want to say a massive thank you for that. In fact, we almost even got 2,000 likes on the video yesterday, which I think would be like an all-time record, an all-time new high. Maybe not necessarily alongside Bitcoin price action as well, but with that said, I see someone is declaring that they are gay for TA. That's right, I'm gay for TA as well. I'm gonna SMD everyone in the fucking chat room right now, and by that I mean show my divergences. So with that in mind, let's get now on over to the Krown application, which we found at app.krown.net. It is going to be a long one today, my friends. It is going to be a long one indeed, and I had 2 coffees, so I'm ready to go. Anyways, with that said, what do we see on the Krown application over here, which can be found at app.krown.net? And by the way, it is for the price of 0. It's 100% free, in fact. Anyways, what do we see? We do see actually more or less the same things that we saw from yesterday. Continuation as far as the top side dashboard goes. What do we see right here? We see Bitcoin dominance still heading up, as you would expect. This is going to be a Bitcoin-led move, in this case, very likely to the downside. Fear and Green Index also at a 26 as well, so we are at the pretty much the most fearful that we have been in the past couple months right here, which is to be warranted, and of course of course there will be bounced along the way. On top of that, do we see any winners from the last 24 hours? Yeah, actually a little bit. Phantom, and then a bunch of, it looks like, exchange tokens, OKB, Huobi token, Filecoin, Avalanche, Maker, pretty much nil right there, actually, just up actually less than 1%, which is nothing in cryptocurrency land. Obviously, if that was in traditional land, it would be like a great day, right? But in this case right here, not too much to be speaking about, and we see some 2017 shitcoins in there as well. OMG Network, always letting you know what's going on in the old market. Anyways, into the market data tab we go, and I do want to address something that is rather important and rather powerful right here. We do see something that you probably don't want to see if you are bullish. We do see that global funding rates are actually positive right here. They're positive as Bitcoin essentially is playing fucking rope-a-dope on on the last line of hopium, at least in my opinion, as we actually do see that you're now once again paying. You're paying to hold your longs. Your underwater longs are being paid. Anyways, with that in mind, what about the global leverage ratio? Still, I wouldn't necessarily say like super high, but of somewhat importance. I want to see where that goes over the next week, but not necessarily actionable right now. And then, of course, the global open interest has been steadily coming down, which is good. We're seeing a washing out of the leverage positions within this market. Everyone's getting a little bit too excited, right? Anyways, into the fourth data tab we go. A little bit more of some somber news over here, perhaps, as the whale ratio does start to tick up and up once again. And so that means that theoretically there is more potential selling potentially more selling on spot price action. Anyways, with that in mind, I'm going to go back on over here. I don't want to waste any more time today. I want to get into the charts right here, right now. Let's start off with this one. And in fact, it needs to be no more complicated than this. This is actually the chart that I use to trade myself. This is this is basically it. What do I have right here? What do we see? It's actually saying a lot right now. We do have a silver cross going on to the downside in this case, which is going to be confirmed no later than today with any sort of a closure, especially below $44,000. And on top of that, we are being governed by the 9 exponential average right there. Volatility is, of course, expanding. I judge that by the moving average, not by the actual tick itself, which is certainly getting above 50 percentile right there. And then, of course, the PMARP is going to be obviously very, very low because we are trading down right now. But I wouldn't necessarily be looking for major bounces until we get into the critical area. Oh, motherfucker! I actually, Jesus Christ, man! I need to code this in, or I need to ask Caretaker to code this in. But basically, I want to see it come back down around here at the very least before I look for the next potential major daily bounce. With that in mind, we are within the context of lower highs and lower lows, and we have been doing that ever since a couple weeks ago right here, which is rather interesting because well, Well, it's just rather interesting because that was your first lower high that we got on the daily. Sorry, our first lower high after getting the lower low. And of course, that is your trend reversal. So that's where we started to get bearish on this channel over here. Obviously, I was saying in the past week and a half that, hey, if Bitcoin can get back above 48,000 bucks, that would be my confirmation of a bear trap. And, it's all well and good. And we can talk about moon targets yet again. But now, because Bitcoin has been such a laggard, or sorry, such a slug right here, we could actually move down that price point. So no longer would I need to wait for 48,000 bucks in order to get, I would get bullish above there. I'd actually move it down to 45,000 bucks. That also simultaneously implies that as long as Bitcoin is operating below 45,000 bucks, I do look at this as, well, a lot more likely to play out the next downside move in line with this measure move right here, which is in the format of a descending triangle. Now, do I think that it's ready to break just yet? Probably not. Usually these things do break when they're about 70 to 75% full, statistically speaking, and that would put us a little bit closer to the end of the month right here, maybe like tomorrow or especially Thursday. That is Thursday, a big closure for, of course, the quarterly. And with that in mind, barring any sort of even like a short-term move back above 44,000 bucks, I do look at this as, well, trend. Anyways, with that in mind, let's just go over here to the weekly, and what do you know? That 55 exponential average is actually directly in line with the measure move target at just below 37,000 bucks, actually, at 36,804 right now, and I would be looking for essentially a move down around there if Bitcoin does take the next leg down. So how would you judge continuation from a format on this if you are going to trade a pattern, which I'm not a huge pattern trader. I actually really don't like patterns for the most part, but triangles do seem to work pretty damn well, especially in cryptocurrency land. And what would indicate continuation on this or confirmation of an actual breakdown? Either a 4-hour closure below our current lows, which is 40,000 and I don't know 40,700 or so, or if you're over here on your higher term timeframes like a daily, I could just look at that as a daily closure below about 42,000 bucks, wherever the 200 simple is right there, or a lower wick than what we saw on the 26th of September. One of those three things would do it for me. Probably even use a 12-hour to judge this as well. However, yeah, I'd actually need to see a 12-hour below about 41,000 bucks. You can see that it has been holding up above the 200 simple right there plenty of times. But hey, whenever you see something like this, when someone gets tested multiple times like this, it does typically, or technically speaking, get weaker with each and every passing test. So while I do suspect that if Bitcoin does come back down to about 41,000 bucks, there probably will be another bounce right there. Albeit a very, likely a weak bounce, but ultimately, assuming that bounce fails to get back above about 44,000 bucks, especially, I do look at it as nothing more than that, just a little bit of a bouncy bounce before further continuation. And of course, the big bad area for myself right now is 45,000 bucks. As long as Bitcoin's below there, there's no talks of any sort of potential major bear traps or anything like that. Just like it was 48,000 bucks before that, or actually 48,000 and some odd change. Those triggers were never met, and so now it gets marched on down as Bitcoin marches itself on down in a actually redistributed format right there. So with that in mind, let's go check out lower term time frame momentum oscillators, especially on CME, because it is Tuesday and CME seems to get these more right, especially on Monday and Tuesday. After that, they kind of come into parity. So it really, honestly, it really never makes any sense to look at anything other than CME, in my opinion. If you're looking at indicators especially, they just have a higher degree of hit rate right there. And what do we see? We do see 4-hour Stokes freshly crossing down. They will remain to the downside as long as we are below 44,000 bucks. This is on the 4-hour, by the way, so short term is down, volatility also rising as well alongside trend continuation. And even my what's it called, I don't even know what I'm going to call this, but my experimental indicator over here showing another downside drive most likely as well. Anyways, go over here to the 12-hour, see where we're at right now as well. Oh, no, Bitcoin, don't do it. Don't fucking do it. You bastard, Bitcoin, you absolute bastard. You told me moon dreams. You told me about the fucking bull moon in September. And now you're dumping in my face, you piece of garbage, you bastard. Anyways, sorry, get a little bit excited in the early morning hours. Yes, we are going to be crossing the downside. Also playing out this trend line test from the last few highs from, hey, guess what? That was 7th of September right there. That was also this high right there, and potentially this high right here. And also the same on my experimental indicator, actually getting 1, 2, 3, boom, 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 and down. And that will be confirmed later today in actually 4 hours, 50 minutes, and 12 seconds if Bitcoin does close below 44,140 or so. And we can just carry that on into the daily as well. Would you like to do that? Would you like to see some more fucking tears? How about that? Yes, let's do that. Exactly. Oh, no. Wait. There's hopium. There's hopium once again. 41,300 is the magical number right there, and that would probably be the best case scenario, at least for like another bounce, in my opinion, closing back above about 41,000 bucks and some odd change. So I wouldn't say that it's all said and done for Bitcoin. Obviously, I do not think that Bitcoin's going to break further down than like 30,000 bucks, for example. But I do think that Bitcoin, if we do get that continuation move, very likely a move down somewhere around about 37,000 bucks before the next daily bounce, and then I'd be looking for that bounce realistically to probably topple on over and come back down, fill the gap on CME from late July right here at about 33 to 34,000 bucks. Anywhere in there is completely fine. Also should be looking at this from a Fibonacci perspective as well. I'm just curious. We'll do this on a bullish retracement actually, this way right here. And what do you know? We got rejected right at the 236. Boom. Where's a 618? Just above 38,000 bucks actually. Got the 786 down around here, and then of course the 886 right in sort of my targeted zone. So with all of that in mind, I would be looking for bounces along these regions. We do see that the 0.5 is holding up actually rather valiantly thus far, getting all of the wicks down at around 40,000 bucks. So I suspect that if Bitcoin does come back down around there, today or tomorrow, probably has one more bounce at the very least. And then assuming that bounce fails to get back above the last lower high, well, then it's time to get sent in the inverted fashion, I suppose. Anyways, what else do I want to talk about while we're here? Yeah, we can talk about this. I don't think I actually called this out yesterday, but we did have multiple drives of bearish divergence come off the last 4-hour high. Nice. And 4-hour jewel getting the last 4-hour highs as well. So looking good right there. Again, on what appears to be a somewhat expanding volatility read, although I want to see it have one more tick up. If that happens, that's going to be conclusive, at least in my book right there. Anyways, 12-hour, do we see anything of particular interest right here? Volatility on the ground within the context of a lower high distributive fashion. That is your descending triangle right there. And if we do start to see that tick up again alongside any sort of a move down below about 41,000 bucks, that is going to be very likely it, I do think. With all of that in mind, is there anything else that I'm missing before we get into the other fun stuff? Again, we covered up the silver crossed. What about the 2-day? We closed that one last night. Not the price action you want to see right there. What about a 5-day? We closed this one last night. Oh, not the 5-day as well. Again, I could very easily have a move back up to 43.5, but that does not do anything for me right here. And for full disclosure, you can probably, I've been pretty open with what I've been doing over the past few weeks right here. I think I said very clearly that if Bitcoin puts in a lower high somewhere right around here, confirmed on a weekly, I will trade to the downside with confidence, as that is, well, one of the things that I do typically wait for. And of course, on my testnet account over here, you can look at the P&L, and of course, it's actually looking pretty damn good right there. A lot of that's marks right now. It's probably not going to be that good, although I did get a pretty nice put spread that I bought in on, I believe, Sunday or so. Let me just get rid of my face so you can actually see it. Where's my fucking stupid face? There it is. Yeah, what I did let me just double check. Yeah, so I bought the 40.35 put spread expiring middle of October, and then I also did the time spread between the 60,000 strike actually this week versus December regulars. And I sold the front month, so I am positioned short term down, and then long term, I'd still give it a chance here. Again, remember what could supersede everything that I'm saying right now, assuming that this were to happen by Thursday. That is if Bitcoin could close a quarterly dildo back above about 44,000 bucks. I would still probably be looking for a move to the downside, but again, I'd be looking at that as a major opportunity. If Bitcoin closes anywhere around 44,000 bucks on Thursday, I would still be looking at a mostly bullish end of year. Probably even goes for some new all-time highs if I had to guess as well. I don't know if the 6-digit magical numbers are going to get hit, but I suspect, based off of what I've been told and based off of what I know, that an ETF probably does come around. And if I had to guess what's going to happen, like if I'm going to do some clickbait bullshit, if I'm going to give you like some silliness to kind of think about, what do I think is going to happen? I think you're going to get something like this, to be honest with you. I think you're going to get something like this, where Bitcoin has like one massive wick down really, really quick, just nice and easy and painless. Then they bring out the ETF news and then bring it back up. Boom, end of year is looking good, and then topple out on over probably in Q2 2022, if I had to guess. But we're well and far away from that right now. But yes, as long as Bitcoin's below, especially 45,000 bucks, there's absolutely nothing fucking bullish about this. Just like a couple of weeks ago, or I guess, was it a couple of weeks ago? Almost a couple of weeks ago now, when Bitcoin put in that lower high at 48,000 bucks, like, okay, this is not, we can talk about hopium, but it's just that hopium at this point. So until Bitcoin does something different here, I don't really have a reason to change my opinion or change my mind or change, more importantly, my trading habits. And with that said, I'll put my stupid face back on right there. There we go. Lovely. Anyways, how deep into this video are we? 25 minutes. Oh, I should also address this as well. Hey, let's get on over here. Hey, would you like to check this out? No! Motherfucker! Not my NASDAQ coins! Getting rejected. So we did say that NASDAQ was likely to open up on a bounce this week on Monday. We did get that bounce. That bounce is what? That bounce is a lower high. Don't tell me it ain't so. Tell me it ain't so, sir. Again, probably does bounce up short term here as well. But now we can play the game of lower highs as long as you're below 15,400. Well, do I think that this is the initial toppling of this? Probably yes. You know, I've been pretty adamant or pretty vocal about looking for a deeper retracement. And to be fair, this would be a correction. This would be a correction probably October, November of this year to the tune of 15 to 20% in traditional markets. And I think that we're seeing the etchings of that right now. I don't think it's going to happen like this week, by the way. Again, probably more like late October, if anything. But for what it's worth right now, you know, this is the first time that we've really shown like a decent amount of weakness, you know, in traditional markets, and that is going to be a lot more obvious, I think, in Dow. Wait, actually, no, Dow Jones had a phenomenal buyback right there. Dow Jones actually looking good as far as futures goes. What was it? SPY maybe? Yeah, SPY also putting in a lower high as well. So again, you know, back above 4,500, things do change obviously, and you know, have to be open-minded. But Nasdaq really showing where the market's at, because I do think that this one really does lead everything else, because the tech sector, as you probably know, owns everything, and well. And that's, and I think that we're just playing rotations right now. So I do play this, you know, as probably an early breakdown, again, as long as below about 15,400. That also means back above there would be the same thing, kind of as Bitcoin back above 45,000 bucks. I would get bullish for another move back up, back into the mid to upper $15,000 territory. And I do want to call this out as well. I want to give myself to my own horn. Fucking hate, really just despise doing that. But you know, we did talk about this, you know, about a year and a half ago, that long term, I just kind of threw it out there. Nasdaq probably hits around 15,000 bucks, and then a bit of a and then a bit of a correction, you might say. So let's see, what would a 15 to 20% correction look like right here? 20% correction puts us down at the weekly, or sorry, the monthly 20 simple. That would be a pretty obvious area, probably around the weekly 55, if I had to guess, is going to be that same area as well. Let me just double check. Actually, 15% would put it around the weekly 55. So anywhere between about like 13 and 13.5 is kind of where I'd be looking for this to come down to, you know, maybe later this year, assuming that this does hold for right now. But we're just seeing the initial etchings of this. So, you know, a lot can happen obviously before end of month, but now the pivots are rather clear and very well documented right there. So nice and easy. And well, hopefully this ends well. Hopefully this ends well. Yeah, there we go. There's a nice positive message for the early morning. Other than that, what other positive messages can I have? Well, if you're short, you're probably looking good. I'm short as well. I'm also short in height, as you know, if you can't tell, I'm only like 5'8". Anyways, is there anything else that I want to get onto right here? You know, again, I don't want to be full on dooming or anything like that. I'm not dooming right here. I do think that Bitcoin will probably bottom in like the mid to low $30,000 territory. And I do not think that, at least right now, I'm not of the same opinion that people think that Bitcoin's going to go down to 20,000 bucks. I think it's going to be something like this, as we were talking about mostly like a couple months ago right here, where it was something like this, right? It's like a boom up and then boom, come back down, fill the gap, and then maybe back up. Now, if Bitcoin does put in a lower high, after coming back down somewhere right around here, that's at the point where it probably will start to get pretty damn bearish, where that lower high likely coming around anywhere between about 40 and probably between about 40 and 45,000 bucks. If I had to guess, we can just draw a nice little retracement on this for this current structure right here. And what would it be? Yeah, somewhere in like the mid, you know, low 40s to upper 30s, essentially where I'd be looking towards. Okay, we can get rid of that for right now. Do we want to go over the bi-weekly MACD? No, we don't need to do that. You can check out the long-term analysis playlist, as that is where I go into much more detail with that. I don't want to do too much long-term analysis today, but yeah, you know, Bitcoin broke the weekly 21. Doesn't really need to be more complicated than that. I mean, you know, again, none of these things are 100% guaranteed to work out, but at the end of the day, it gives you an edge. It gives you an edge, and what is important about an edge, it gives you a way and a means of telling when you're wrong, and that's what it is actually to be a trader, is to know when you're wrong. Not to be able to tell the future, just to kind of address some of the things that I've seen, because I did an interview on Coin Telegraph the other week, and you know, I like the guys at Coin Telegraph. They're very, very nice to me, very, very cordial, very professional. But you know, when you talk to an audience like that, it's a very general audience, and so the audience there, it's like Like, tell me prediction. I need prediction. What is it? What is it going to do? It's like, look, that's not trading. And I'll let the analysts handle that. Of which actually have that as a bit of an aside for the for the titles here. If you haven't noticed, kind of just as a little bit of a laugh. But overall, it's always about statistics, and it's always about, again, knowing when you are most importantly wrong. So in this case right here, again, above $45,000, things do change, absolutely. And is that possible? No doubt about that. But just like $48,000 over here, until Bitcoin gets above it, well, the trend is your friend, and it can be your best friend if you just let it be. So with that said, I'll leave it there for the early Bitcoin analysis. I'm going to put on my alerts over here. Holy fucking moly, man. Let's see what we got going on today. Let me see. I think Nimbo's got it on lockdown. He does. Fucking lovely. Beautiful. Okay, let's see what we got right here. All right, Hootie Hennessy, he's back. He wants to look at Chainlink short-term. Thanks. Sir, for the love of God, what does short-term mean to you? I'm just going to go to a 4-hour because I think that's probably what it means to you. But let's see. So Chainlink, we got really, really bearish on this one about what was this? About a little bit more than a week ago on the break, especially at the 55, which was $27. After that, I mean, this is redistribution. We got a silver cross right here. This one's already operating below the 200. And if you just want a little bit of an aside, bearish shit, bearish or bullshit that complete below or above the, like major moving average like this, like the 200 in this case, are a lot more likely to play in this one. This is very obviously a bearish setup right here. Heavily bearish as long as you're below about 25 and a quarter. So if you're looking at just the short-term timeframes to be specific, what we can do over here, we got some like this going on, don't we? We have some just bizarrely shaped triangle, I do think is what's probably going on here. Just hasn't really filled out just yet. Looks a little bit more obvious on the higher term timeframes. Is there going to be a short-term bounce in between there? Probably yes, but I do figure that it will find its way back down somewhere around about $21.50, aka Goblin Town. But be aware, it can always get much, much worse. So at least for right now, I'd probably be looking for another short-term move somewhere down around about 21 to 22. Probably plays out another short-term bounce there and then finds its way down to the blue box territory. Yeah, not. I'll put it this way, not bullish as long as you're below about $25 now, and above there, yeah, I'd call a bear trap as well. Same thing as Bitcoin back above 45, but this one is relatively weak. It is relatively weak, no doubt about that. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Chainlink. What's up, Mr. King Cosmic? Yeah, let's do it. Sometimes that BSTA works. That's right, man. The bullshit TA, the fucking hocus pocus bullshit, the moon shit. Sometimes it actually works, man. Let's go check out SPY because I know exactly what you're referring to. And yeah, exactly, man. So we did basically hit our targets yesterday, which is good. However, the result from it, I mean, if you want to be bullish, it's actually not so bad. If you go down to the lower term timeframes right here, this is at least I should not be bearish on this as it is right now. In short term, I do think that it will pop back up somewhere around about 44.45 to 44.50 or so. Back above, obviously, yesterday's high is where it starts to extend those targets significantly up to about 4,500 plus or so. But until that happens, anything below that is lower high. So short term up, yes, 44, 45, certainly not out of the question right there. Yeah, and very, very likely to do that as well. I mean, volatility is about to tick up, and hourly Jules given a nice fresh signal as well. So, I'd be looking at that area. If it fails to get above that area, then obviously, well, next move very likely down. But for right now, it will have a chance, and could be a lot worse. Could be a lot worse actually. Let's see what a 4-hour looks like, just out of curiosity. Do you have some potential hidden bullish divergence right here if we do close anywhere pure or higher actually? So yeah, I'd be looking for next move up, and then does it get back above yesterday's high or not? Well, yeah, I think you know what to do from there. So hopefully that was helpful, sir. And there you go. Oh, Mr. Faraz, it's only just begun. Doggy daily or weekly, sir? Oh, baby, it's time. It's time. It's time. Should we record this one? Get the old doggy crew involved? Yes, we should. We should. Oh, doggy coin. Why have you done this? How could Elon Moose let this happen? He told me the doggy coin was fun and cool and was going to be used for all sorts of amazing stuff, which, well, apparently, actually, the Oakland A's were accepting this for like tickets, but I don't know, man. Moneyball. Well, fair enough. Whatever. Okay. So, well, as far as analysis goes, we have a dog shit chart right here. Actually, I'd be looking for this one to make a nice move down to the 55. sometime between this week and next week, down to about 17.5 cents or so. Daily is in free fall right now, completing another lower high below the 200 exponential average. Got the silver cross the downside way back on over here. It's been governed by the 10 symbol ever since. That is weak. That is weak by fucking definition. Anyways, as far as our other indicators go, volatility starting to expand. I really want to see this get above 50 percentile. That's where the party can actually really get started to the downside. But just for right now, I'd be looking for a retest of your last weekly lows and probably another bounce there, to be fair as well. I mean, this is, you know, from a weekly perspective, actually not that bad until you actually do start to crack back down below about 17.5 on a closing basis. But at that point, or sorry, if that were to happen, that's where this one really starts to turn around and look absolutely devastating back down below 10 cents actually, which was the long-term analysis on this one from many months ago. And if you do want the hit single, you can go check it out on the channel. The important message for doggy coin holders. Of course, this is all said in jest. This is all said in fun. You know, I'm not trying to make fun of anyone who's like actually losing real finances. You know, but someone has to have a laugh about it. Not at anyone in particular's expense, just at shitty charts. Shitty charts that are memes, and well, that's what we have right here. And what do we see as far as this goes? We do see actually weekly Stokes going to be crossing the downside freshly as long as we close below 24 cents at the end of this week. That would be a really, really good signal to send this baby back down to the low teens, is that? Anyways, my experimental indicator over here actually fired off a big signal early September, actually, in fact, as well. So looking good, and daily remains to the downside as long as below about 22.30 cents right there. So I do expect next move is down. I would change my opinion on this for the daily back above about 23 cent. And look for moves back up into the 27 to 28 cent region. But I mean, that would be the condition for that. That would be invalidation. But until that happens, well, this is a chart that only a mother could love, with lower lows and lower highs. And unfortunately for the doggy coin movement, it appears that Elon Moose has forsaken you. And the 5-day, which I put a shit ton of weight on, is actually starting to freshly break down as well. So I probably would be looking for another bounce yet again off of like 17 cent or so. And then assuming that bounce just fails to get back above, well, anywhere around like 28 cents. And I'll be looking for this baby to come down very, very hard. A good saying that my mentor taught me was the way that you go up is the way that you come down. And this one, you just went straight fucking up. When this thing actually does break down, if it does break down, I should say, because nothing's, you know, guaranteed, obviously, it will be nasty, very, very nasty, of course. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Mr. Doggy Coin or Mrs. Doggy Coin. Who knows? Who knows what that dirty bitch is? Denny Stone said, Ren USD, please, sir. Hey, man, all good. Let's go check it out. Ren. So dare I say that this is a 2017 shitcoin? Is it a shitcoin? Actually, first off, it's not a shitcoin because it only goes up, so that's pretty good. And yes, it is 2017 born around there. This is actually really, really good. This is really, really impressive, actually. You know, short term, does it come down with the rest of the market? Probably yes, but anywhere down around like low 90 cents, I do look at as an opportunity. Long term, I do like this chart, obviously. Any sort of, pullbacks down to low 90 cents are completely fine. I'd really only get bearish on this thing back below about 85 cents on a daily in this case. Let me just double check over here. Sorry, no, I do change that to about 71 cent on a daily. Until then, monthly is very, very good. This is a strong one, and we do see bifurcation within this market very obviously right now. This thing is looking good, and in any sort of a closure, you know, by Thursday, end of month, above $1, which is above right now, I'd be looking for, you know, retesting to prior all-time highs and very likely new all-time highs before end of year. This would look really, really good. Short-term time frames, like a 4-hour short-term is downside angled, 97 cents where I'd be looking towards, probably another short-term bounce right there, and then probably does make its way down a little bit further, but keep in mind the invalidation points. There also is a bit of bearish divergence on the daily as well. So I do believe next move will be down, but I would be looking for, you know, higher lows on the daily, probably somewhere around in like the mid to upper 70s right there. But overall, again, a good chart, especially as long as it's above about 70 cents even. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go, sir. Let's see. A massive thank you to Mr. Nimba right now for stepping in for Elsa. Lazy on vacation. You know who doesn't take vacations? Me. I don't believe in vacations. This is like fun for me anyways. What's up, Dak? I appreciate that, man, but I see that you've retracted your message, which is a bizarre thing to do after sending in a sending in a chat right there, but hopefully we can figure. Okay, I see what you're saying now. Okay, DYDX. Yeah, we can look at this one. I know that a lot of people are really interested in this thing for good reason. It's apparently like just completely blown up in a good way, of course, right here. So from what I understand, this is like a decentralized exchange that actually works. Is that right? Anyways, daily, hourly, 30-minute. Okay, daily right here. Well, I mean, there's not much of a daily to be looking at. I'll record this one. Here we have DYDX versus the dollar, and we have, one of the more impressive charts, certainly that we're going to see today, I imagine. In this one, fundamentally, has some things going on for it now, doesn't it? Because it is, well, I believe it's a decentralized exchange, and it's kind of hosting, or at least the sort of meme within the market right now is that all of the people who are banned from trading in China are now going to go over to this, and maybe that is so. Anyways, as far as the daily goes, still good. I mean, there's not really much to be looking at on a daily right here, but it is just a general uptrend. Let's go down to the very low term timeframes because that's where things are going to be a lot more interesting. Full hour, bit of a range. However, I do believe next move very likely down to about 18 bucks or so. Yeah, about 18 and a half to just below 19 bucks, somewhere right around there. And I'd be looking for another bounce short term. However, I would start to look for reversal on this one below 17 and a half. It's obviously very far away from that right now, but I do like to put in invalidation points, obviously, because, well, I am curious to see what would happen to this thing if Bitcoin does, actually accelerate to the downside, right, relatively soon. Obviously, daily over here is not going to be too helpful, but let's go to the 4 hour. 4 hours downside angled as long as below 22 and a quarter, and hourly is going to be downside angled freshly as long as below about 21 and 13 cents. So yeah, next move very likely down. I'd be looking for another bounce somewhere, just in like the upper 18s, and then, well, assuming that it just doesn't break below about 18 and a half, I would be looking at that as very constructive long term. If it does break below 18 and a half, even on an hourly, I would be looking for next potential low somewhere around about 17 and a half. Below 17 and a half is where I'd actually start to look at this as a, as like a greater reversal. For what it's worth. I mean, there's not really much history right here, so like, is there much to reverse? Not really. But at that point, I'd be looking way further south, between about 14 and 15 bucks. But overall, a much more impressive chart than I believe most things that we'll probably see today. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for DYDX. Let me turn down the alerts over here. They're really loud actually for me. Let's see. Okay. Cameron, hey, what's up, Mr. Cameron? Check out SFT NYSE. Love you too, sir. Okay. Well, what was his name again? SFT. Okay. And it trades on a real exchange, so that's a good sign. Shift Technologies. Looks like shit technologies, man. This is terrible. What the fuck? How could you name yourself Shift Technologies? Like, you didn't think anyone was going to turn that one around on you? Heavily bearish, especially as long as you're below about 9 and a quarter. But what time frames are you looking at here? No time frames given. How dare you? Okay, so let's see what's more likely right here. Is next move up into another lower high, somewhere around about 8.5 bucks more likely, or do we come back down and test the $7 lows more likely? I do think it's a little more likely to probably topple on over and test $7 lows. But as you can see, I'm generally just going to be bearish on something that looks like this, right? What are you essentially doing right here? Essentially making one massive long descending triangle, which is a redistributive pattern, and it's actually getting pretty damn close to breaking now. It's pretty mature within this formation. Confirmation would be with a weekly below about 675, 670 or so. And then, yes, I would be looking for this one to make much more lower lows, actually, probably somewhere down around like 3 to 4 bucks if I had to guess. But for right now, short term, this one can ebb and flow, obviously. But I would be bearish as long as, especially as long as below about 8.5 bucks on a daily closure. Until then, you're right in the middle of this, this current consolidation. So for me, that's not really like anything that's super actionable. Maybe we could go down to a 4 hour and see if there's anything that's a little more obvious. Again, still no. The long term is obvious. The short term is, just kind of sideways and probably working its way down. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go, sir. Acoin face. Oh my lord, man. Nice name, by the way. Very nice name. Tesla on the 2 hour pre's. Bear Jesus cometh. Let's check it out. I remember last time we looked at it, which was a couple weeks ago, admittedly, it was looking pretty damn good. Is Bear Jesus cometh over here? No, I'd still say this looks really good. This one's resolving its prior consolidation, and this is an ascending triangle. This is reaccumulation. Volatility is ticking up. Daily Jewel is up. Daily RSI, hidden bullish divergence. It's already broken above the top side resistance of this. We do have a measure move actually pretty much around your prior all-time high. I wouldn't necessarily say it's going to shoot there in like one fell swoop, but probably somewhere around about 820, maybe a short-term pullback from there. This is very good. No, I would not be bearish on this chart. This is actually one of the more impressive charts Yeah, this is probably this is very obviously reaccumulation, and it's being resolved right now. It's good, very very good. Monthly coming into the end of the month right here, hidden bullish divergence off the last low. It's good, very very good. I wouldn't be surprised to see Tesla make new all-time highs before end of year, assuming that the monthly close holds. But for right now, you know, where would I change my opinion on that? Invalidation below about 755 or so. You know, obviously that can happen, but for right now, this is in a really good spot with only a couple days left in the trading month to go. I like that, man. You specifically asked about a 2-hour, however. I mean, it might have a little bit of a pullback down to like 780, but I would just be looking at, yeah, probably does pull back a little bit, somewhere between about 770 and 780. But again, I'm just not bearish in a chart that looks like this overall. As long as you're above, I think it was like 750, I said. Let's see. Okay. Not filling in all tasks, just super chats. Yeah. Thank you for that, Nimbo. Yeah, just that for right now. We do want to make sure that, you know, people are mostly, you know, taken care of course. What's up, Mr. Michael Ruth? Hello from Saigon. Jesus Christ, man. Really? You're in Saigon? Lockdown is fuck here, but can't the crazy crypto train? That's exactly right, man. Can you please have a look at the 4-hour daily and weekly for CELO? Sure. CELO. Is this one of the charts that we saw yesterday that was good, or was that CELR? All right, looking at a 4-hour daily, weekly. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, long term it is okay, I guess. Daily right here probably gets one more bounce off this current area. But does that come before a wick to the downside to the tune of like 575 first? It does look like yes. Short term probably does put in one more wick down around here, and then I'd be looking for a bit of a bounce, that being somewhere around about 5 3/4. I do like this chart long term for what it's worth. It's just I'm a bit thrown off by these nasty wicks right here. What I'd feel a lot more confident with and a lot more comfortable with is talking about the monthly, because we do have that closure coming up in a couple days here, and you know, closing on new all-time highs anywhere above $6 is going to look pretty damn good coming into end of the year. But if you're specifically asking about the 4-hour daily and weekly, we go to the weekly just really quick. You know, I like the weekly. The question is, does it have a correction down to 4.5 first? You could very obviously judge that by the low of last week, but that's not really giving you too much because these wicks are so nasty. Let's see. Other than that, you know, I think that you do give this one the benefit of the doubt. I would be very curious to see what happens to this one though if Bitcoin does turn down and like accelerates to the downside from its current area. 590 or so going to be the daily pivot. Below there, I'd be looking for that move down to about $5 even. Full hour says probably do test the downside first. Yeah, I'm actually not so hot on the daily right here. I do like it though. I do like it. I really be waiting for the monthly on this one. I think that's going to be a lot more revealing than what we're seeing right here. This one's just wiki as all hell. I know that wasn't too helpful right there, but hopefully we got some out of the way. What's up, Mr. BK? Luna. Yeah, we could do Luna. 4-hour daily weekly. Yep. Let's pull up Luna over here. Luna's tunas, and again, another more interesting chart actually. Let's record this one. Here we have Terra Luna, symbol LUNA, versus the dollar. And what do we have? We have a chart here that actually looks significantly different than most of the crypto charts that we've seen today. You know, long term is obviously good. You know, just generally goes up, so that is that is generally a good sign. Obviously, we got the monthly closure coming in 2 days as well. Any sort of a closure here or higher, I'd probably be looking for new all-time highs before end of year. Maybe October, probably November if I had to guess. Short-term timeframes, what are we looking for? I'm actually not getting too much off this. Let me pull it up over here and see if something could help my biases for the short term. 4-hour will be turning down below about 36.90. Yeah, I do think that short term is a bit more of a range. Short term probably does come back down to the bottom side of the range, 35.25, 35.30 or so, and probably tries for another bounce there. Daily, yeah, that would just be a test down somewhere around the 55, or sorry, not the 55, but the 21 in this case. And this one actually does make it rather simple on the daily pivots right here. Below 34.70, I would be looking for a deeper retracement all the way down to about 30, just below $30, and probably does put another nice bounce right there. Until that happens, I'll just be looking for sideways and up after a very short-term downside move, perhaps down to about 35.25. 5-day close yesterday. This is good for what it's worth. Again, any sort of a move, yeah, down to like 35. I'd actually be looking at that as, you know, fine. Long term, very, very good right here. And again, we do see bifurcation within this market. So this market is maturing. We did not see these sort of things, you know, a couple of years ago, actually. Back in 2018, 2019, and 2020, everything kind of moved with each other. Now we see consistently a handful, like a decent amount of coins that are doing something completely different than Bitcoin. So overall, you know, ranges are quite well set, but generally speaking, I'd be keeping an eye on the monthly closure. This one definitely one to pay attention to after maybe another short-term downside move. Again, be aware of the invalidation points and the pivots, but for right now, I like it. I like it a lot, actually. For the long term, that is. Hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Lunar. I don't do head jobs. Yeah, Nimbo, I actually can't really see the chats when I have yours pulled up right here, just so you know. Head jobs, you motherfucker. Let's see. Gemini Athlete, what's up, man? K, can you check out K-Ros stock? Okay. K-R-O-S. K-R-O-S. Keros Therapeutics. Okay. Holy fucking moly, man. Okay, someone knew something that we didn't know. You're looking at an hourly. This looks like a dead cat bounce. I want a short. Okay, well, we probably shouldn't go to the hourly for this. When you see a move like this, you want to be going to your higher term time frames, in my experience, and looking at those levels, not the short term levels. And what do you know? We're right at the 200 simple right, or sorry, 200 exponential average right here. And you know, would I be interested in playing a scalp right there? Probably yes. However, understand that it's probably just that, a scalp, because I do think that after a bit of a short-term pullback here, it probably does gun for the gap. This is obviously something's going on here. This is obviously fundamentally driven. You can tell that by the volume signature right here. This thing's probably going to gun for the gap at like $50 after a bit of a short-term pullback after first hitting the 200. How far does it pull back? I think anywhere around like low 40s between 41 and 42 is completely fair game. It's really not too much of a move from where we're at right now. I don't know, man. I would like this short over here a lot better, to be honest with you, if I'm thinking about holding it for a little bit of time. But hourly right here, yes, is really fucking exaggerated. I mean, BBWP is on the absolute ceiling. What about the daily? Yeah, it's getting up there as well. You know, I want to see like something resembling a reversal first. But in this case, you know, you got this level right here, and then obviously you got about $52.50. Those would be the two areas that I'm interested in. But the first one, I'd really just be looking at a short-term scalp. This is probably the one that I think might actually have some decent play. We got a lot of actual good signals right here, so I'd let it play out a little bit more probably. But of course, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and hopefully that was just a little bit of helpfulness right there. Cool. All right. Okay. It's not earnings season right now, is it? Yeah, I'm just curious, like, what would drive this one? But anyways, you're saying, okay, actually, yeah, it sounds like you're pretty much on the same, you know, of the same opinion as me right there. Oh, you want to cover it down to like 36? I don't, that wouldn't be my first target. That wouldn't be my first target off this one. I'd probably just be looking for a short-term scalp. I think that it could easily come back down to like 39 or 40. But when you get a move like this, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that are squeezed and whatnot. And usually they can actually, and a lot of the time they can gun for a little bit higher, especially when you're like around a major area like this. So I think you're on the right direction right there, just maybe a little bit too aggressive. But that's just me, man. That is just me, obviously. What's up, Legend LEZs? I knew a guy who used to say weekly trend, monthly accumulation speed indicator, and 5-day go fuck yourself is undefeated. That guy lives at Scott's mom's. There he is. There he is again, man. Yeah, speaking of the monthly accumulation distribution indicator, let's go check it out over here. Where is it? I got it on my fundamentals tab, I believe. Yeah, there we go. And where are we at on the monthly right now? Oh, by the way, the weekly's turning down. Yeah, monthly is going to be down as well. Yeah, that's not looking too hot right there. That's not looking too hot right now. So pray for 44K before end of month. That's pray for 44K before end of month. There you go. We can all huddle our hands together and pray it away. Nimbo says, don't forget to smash the likes and smash your face on the keyboard after you hit the derp button and tickle the balls. I would appreciate that. Obviously, most importantly, the ball tickling, because I could use some else's away right now, and well, it's lonely. It's lonely here. It's very lonely for myself. Anyways, I actually really do appreciate all the people liking the video right now. That is, those are some pretty insane numbers, and they've actually been trending up. We've been on an uptrend recently with those, so pretty damn awesome, man. Thank you for that. Like, massive thank, like a sincere thank you for that, because I do actually understand that it does actually help. Hi Desert Garden says, why do your face make me so happy? I don't know, man. It's That's a good question. I'll have to think of an answer because I don't have anything witty to say back right now. What's up, Mr. Philson? Nice hair. Thank you, brother. I do appreciate that. I spent some time putting on a hat this morning, and then I decided not to wear it, in fact. Super Googly says, why are we still doing this, sir? A 24 by 24 resolution JPEG just got sold on Christie's for 4.2 million. Can I have a look at HSI daily and weekly, please? Yeah, I do understand that there is a lot of animosity regarding NFTs, but I'm actually not of the same opinion in general. I actually do understand that NFTs, and I do believe NFTs are going to be the next evolution. If you've watched the movie, what's the best way to explain it? If you've watched the movie, what's that fucking stupid movie? Ready Player One. You will, I think, very quickly understand like how the economy will work in the future metaverse, because that is coming, man. I have a VR set myself, and I am 100% convicted that that will be the future. It's pretty much already there. People are already spending a shit ton of time in their VR headsets, especially with lockdowns and everything, and how we're kind of being, baby stepped into this bubble wrapped world, and we should stay away from everything and be only comfortable in your house. It does seem to me like that is where things are trending. I mean, that is the trend. The trend is technology. The trend is less personable interactions. The trend is moving everything digitally online, and that is exactly how we're going to, like, in the future. I mean, we already meet like our spouses and our lovers, if you will, on like social media apps, right? Like I met Elsa on fucking Tinder, right? But soon enough, like you'll just put on a VR headset, you'll go into like a virtual reality club, and it'll be awesome. And then you'll have like virtual reality sex. You have like a little attachment for a fleshlight or something. It'll be great. It'll be awesome because, for a lot of people, that's probably, it's probably going to be better for a lot of people because, I mean, right now it's no secret that a lot of people are not very happy with the current setup. So in VR, you'll be able to kind of set up your own sort of heavens, I suppose. So who knows where the fuck that leads, but I do suspect that is where things are going. So NFTs very likely play a major role in that. Now, I would also balance that statement out by saying most NFTs, as Mr. Elliot Trade says, who I think is like the he's like the authority when it comes to NFTs, they're going to be worth absolutely fucking zilch right now. But there are going to be some major ones that are building in that fashion, and they will probably be massively successful. Anyways, looking at HSI, looks like an absolute shitcoin of a stock. It's not a stock; it's an indice for Hong Kong. Did we hit our targets on this one to 23,000? Very close, getting a nice little bounce right now. To be fair, do I think that it heads down a little bit further? Yeah, I do suspect it will. Probably have one more drive down to about 23 even, maybe a little bit below there into October. This is obviously redistribution on that last few high right there, obviously. But with volatility still increasing, and with RSI on the monthly just getting into the bearish control zone, I suspect that this one will test down a little bit further south into end of year. Short term, does it have a bounce on the weekly? Probably yes. Daily showing some bullish divergence come off the low, so next move probably up short term to 25,100 or so, but heavily bearish on this one, especially as long as you're below 26.7, we'll say. So short term, very likely does play an upside move, maybe even extends that all the way to 25.8, but overall I'd be looking for this one to come down hard, probably in October, maybe November. Very, 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 very nasty chart right here. Quarterly just got down almost around the 55. I'd be looking for one more spike there, and then probably a greater bounce. But we do have a quarterly lower high in place as well. So if this one starts to actually move down below about 23 and stay below 23 on a monthly closure, that's at the point where this thing, well, it's going to find its liquidity a lot lower, it looks like. Let's see. Okay. What's up, Lando? Lando says, one day I will be rich, really rich, and I will remember the days of no gains, and then I'll whale my way in the market and give my crypto friends a good day for once. Fair enough. That seems like a noble cause, I suppose. Fair enough, man. What's up, Mr. Anderson? Review. You are definitely Norwegian, and Norway seems really, really cool to me right now as well, because they've just removed all their restrictions for the flu. Can you do Cardano? Sure, man. I can do it if that's what you mean. You do it, I will do it. No time frames given, no nothing given. So we're gonna take no prisoners on this one. Whoa! Here we have Carderpio, symbol ADA versus the dollar, and what do we have? We have another lower high, and we have lower lows. Tell him what he's won. He's won a downtrend down to fucking Goblin Town. Target. probably somewhere down around like, more, short term, probably like 190. Probably another bounce right there around 190. Assuming that the bounce fails to get above 230, I would be looking for continuation, alongside a Bitcoin breakdown into like the 160 to 170 territory. Again, heavily bearish as long as you're below about 232. Above 232, I actually would change my opinion on this one. So there's always an invalidation, as always, there has to be. And I would be looking for moves back up to 260 to 270. But for right now, this thing is not looking like the picture of health and fitness. Even the daily jewel is already given up. Its curvature right there is never supported by the DMI anyways. And the volatility signature was also not appropriate for anything more than just a short and anemic bounce, of which we did get. This one is setting up for continuation. Let's go check out Lunch Monster is over here, and then we'll go through the lower term timeframes and see if there's anything, specifically different 4-hour Stokes remained at the downside as long as below 217. So this one is trending right now. Again, probably be looking at a move somewhere down around about low $2 before the next bouncy bounce. Daily is going to freshly cross down with the closure below 218.5. Not fucking good. If that happens, again, I'd be looking for, somewhere between about 2 to 190 or so before the next decent sized bounce. 12-hour also freshly down as long as below 233. Hourly is going to be well, that's technically up right now. There you go. You got an hourly bounce. Anyways, go over here. Yeah, this is just this is a bearish setup, sir. Look, I'm I always want to offer up some hoping on the other side, but hoping for this one's not until this thing gets back above about 233 to 235 or so. Until then, the trend is your friend, man. Doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. And well, Goblin Town is a very nice place. I've actually seen The Hobbit recently, and apparently there's a ring in a cave over there too. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Cardania. Nice one, man. What's up, Mr. MS? Can you look at VET, the V chain? Okay, VET USD. How does it look? Well, I'm gonna guess probably not too good. On a monthly, not too good. On a daily, not too good. On a weekly, not too good. On a 4-hour, not too good. It doesn't look too good. Heavily bearish as long as you're below 10 and a quarter. I mean, again, completing a silver cross below the 200 exponential average, so that is a bearish formation on a downtrend below a major movement average. Does it have another bounce off of like 8 cent? Maybe yes, for a short-term time frame. Assuming that bounce fails to get back above 10 and a quarter, I'd be looking for this one to go for the full retrace. It's the full retrace. The full retrace back down to 7 cents, probably into like October or something. Sorry, maybe more like 6 to 7 cents, 6 and a quarter to just below 7 cents or so in October. Yeah, not a big fan of this. Even has a head and shoulders on the monthly RSI. Not super obvious, but those probably do play out to the next major movement average in that case. It's the full retrace. You've won a full retrace, sir. You pumped it up based off of fucking nothing, and then you dumped it down based off of fundamentals. Oh, fuck, man. It's going to be a fun day. It's going to be a fun day. What's up, Mr. Jack? Ethereum Bitcoin 4-hour. Man, I'm being a fucking dickhead today. I do apologize. All right. Ethereum Bitcoin putting another... okay. If this one really turns out to be bearish, then the market's really not going to be good. But I'd be looking for another wick down to about 6.8 million satoshis and probably another bounce there. Of course, bullish back above yesterday's high, which is right at the 21. But this is kind of a potentially very, very nasty setup. As long as you are below the 21 now, Jack, on the daily, which is 7 million satoshis, pretty much even. This would be looked at as a reversal in progress from a major movement average perspective, and targeted regions would be 6.5 million and then all the way down to 6 million even satoshis. Let's go down to the 4-hour right here. I am inclined to say that this one probably will have a chance just because we have seen that Ethereum has actually been holding up a little bit better than Bitcoin in some cases here. So perhaps it does pull through. However, I don't think that there's any more, the higher term time frames are not going to look good below about 6.7 million satoshis. Monthly, I still like the monthly. I still like the quarterly a lot. I don't have any major issues with these. Weekly still good as well. Another move down to like mid 6 million satoshis is completely fine. But yeah, short term is downside angled right here. Where would I change my opinion? Again, above 7.10 million satoshis. I want to go check it out over here too. I really want to be as I want to be as thorough as possible in this one, because this one does kind of generate a lot of biases for the greater market, actually, in a lot of ways. I mean, we don't really expect this to be bullish if Bitcoin's going down. Daily still potentially okay. Back above 7 million Satoshis, you can keep the hopium drums alive. Until then, short term back down around 6.75 to 6.8 million Satoshis, very likely a bounce there. Hope that bounce gets back above 7 million Satoshis before end of month, and I think that would salvage it. But for right now, short term time frame's down as long as below 7.10 about. On the 4 hour, hourly is up as long as above 6.9. So okay, I think it will have a chance right here. Probably even have some bullish divergence come off the hourly. Let's see. Yeah, it does. Not a super strong strike right there, but very short term time frames. Yeah, back above 7. This will look, I suppose, okay, and you can kind of make an excuse for it for right now. What's up, Mr. MF Pemp? Holy shit, man. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, man. Would you consider a fiefdom in El Salvador, sir? I've never really looked into El Salvador, but I wonder, you know, my main thing right now is that I want to like be in a place that's safe, especially if the world's gonna, you know, show like this last year really kind of scared me in a lot of ways. So I'm most concerned about being in a safe place in the world, and I don't know if El Salvador is like the safest place. Maybe not, man. Maybe not. But if they do have a castle available, I would be. I am a buyer. Oh, I should also let you know. I've been getting some messages about people on Twitter and people on Instagram who are using a very similar name to mine, both like my real account, which is under my name, Eric Krown, or Eric Russell Krown, and then also obviously the Krown trading account as well. Like going out and messaging people and creating these fake accounts that look really, really like slick, and it's kind of hard to tell actually. Look, I hope I didn't need to repeat this too much, but I'm never gonna like DM you and especially ask you to like trade your account, or I don't have like a secret fund that I'm managing. I have no interest in that. I'm completely fine and not interested in trading anyone's money other than my own. So please understand that, because like these guys are getting pretty damn slick with their with the way that they're kind of like making it look super, super real. So please be careful. What's up, Mr. Poncho? Best of the best to you as well, sir. You have a lovely day as well, my friend. Nice positive message right there. Logan Davis, do you have an opinion on prop firms? I used to be a part of a prop firm, actually, Cutler Group LP. Do you have an opinion on them? Some are really, really good. Some are really, really bad. Make sure that you read their details of whatever contract they want you to sign. You know, it should be obvious. Like the good ones you can find on like a tiered list. Actually used to have one. Maybe I can fish that out. But other than that, like I do want to be very direct in saying that there's a lot of very, very bad ones. But it also depends what you want. Like some of them will allow you to trade their book. If you trade essentially their system, but you take on some risk yourself, but obviously you don't get, all the money. The way that mine did it, they actually had kind of multiple divisions, but my division was essentially you trade your own money. In my case, I was working with my mentor at that time, so I was trading his account, and from there you pay them a fee. For us, I think it was like 10 to 15% of profits. And they'll like handle all the clearing of your books and everything. Because by the way, if you're not aware, if you do want to be a professional trader and you want to trade your own account, it's very difficult to do it like in a good way without having someone to take care of like all the compliance and legal issues. And that's why you kind of want to be a part of a prop firm in that regard, especially if you're trading like options or market making in options, which is what I was doing. I think if you're just like trading, regularly, maybe it's a little bit less attractive, but yeah, man, there's some great ones out there. Just make sure that you find one that fits you, because there's such a wide variation in them that you should be able to find that. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful, sir. What's up, Christina P? Good morning to you as well. From California or Canada? Is that California or Canada? I grew up in California. XDC 4 hour in daily. Okay, DC, XFin network. Remember we looked at this one like a month ago and it was good, and this is good. This is good. Very, very good. Very good. Here we have XFin network, symbol XDC versus the dollar, and we have another chart that is completely doing something vastly different than the majority of this market. This is very good, very, very good, and over a long period of time, extremely good. Well, actually, hold on. Yeah, extremely good. This is very impressive. So I'm guessing, and I know nothing about this project, I'm guessing they have an actual like product that works. I'm guessing that they're actually, you know, making real moves, and their chart represents that. This is phenomenal, especially in the context of, you know, today, which is the 20th of September, and most of this market is hanging on to the ropes right now, you might say. Monthly looking very, very powerful, coming into 2 days left into the monthly closure. Any sort of a closure above 14.5 cents is going to very likely imply new all-time highs. Maybe October, probably November. Looking at the daily right here, this is good. Another higher low in a series of higher lows. Daily RSI strong. Daily Jewel caught the low right there, actually, and still is actually suggesting a signal. And daily BBWP is expanding from a very low territory right there. So you got volatility, trend, and momentum. In this case, I would be looking for a short-term continuation to about 15.5 cents, probably another short-term pullback from there. And then very likely a move back around your prior highs into early October or something like that. This one's very, very good. A very impressive chart. And I want to be very praising of charts like this because it really stands out, you know, especially on a day like today. So looking at Finex over here, let's see, daily Stokes remain to the upside as long as above 13 cents. Good. Weekly will pop back up above 1580. So I think it's, you know, it's a little bit more ranging on a weekly right here. 5-day is about to freshly pop up above 1435. This looks really, really good. Just closed yesterday, or last night, I should say. So, you know, probably going to take some time. 4 hour is going to freshly, it's just trend right here. It's good. Very, very good. Again, short term, I'll be looking for a continuation of 15.5, probably short term pullback from there, and then very likely back around your prior highs in early October. This is very, very good. Very, very good. Where would I invalidate this one? More importantly, back below 12 3/4. 12 3/4 would be my criteria for that. You even have a bit of an inverted head and shoulders right here, but I'm sure that measured move probably aligns with that 15.5 cent target anyways. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful, but thank you for bringing this one up. Very impressive. Very, very impressive. There you go. Nice one, Christina. Michael Miniscata, definitely Italian, I think. AMC on the daily, fighting for the 50-day moving average right now. Okay, are the meme stocks finally getting bouqueted? Probably check out. Oh, this is not a fight for the 55. This is a rejection of the 55. So when you see something like this, when something's kind of like coming up to, especially the 55, can also kind of apply the same sort of knowledge on a 21 as well. When you see it kind of like, I don't know, how do I relate this concept, like bumping up to it and rejecting, that is typically going to be an actual breakage and an early signal of a major reversal from a major moving average perspective. In this case, I do think you're getting ready for the next major downside move down to like 33 to 32 bucks or so. And you know, these meme stocks, they have no business trading like this to begin with. It's just going to take a long time before they finally come down. So with that in mind, where would I be wrong on this? Basically back above 23rd of September high, I would change my opinion, at least for a short-term move back up to, you know, 46, maybe even 50 bucks overall. That would look pretty damn good, especially coming into end of month. But to me, this is, it's not to me, but this is traditionally a nasty setup right there. Similar to what you saw over here, once it started to, you know, grind the 55 out, boom, that was your nice down. And I expect that you probably find your way back down around there. Maybe like early October or something. Not good, man. And I just want to check out GameStop as well. Is this shit finally coming down? Yeah, this shit is finally coming down. I mean, again, we've been saying this ever since the whole debacle almost a year ago now. It's going to take like 1.5 to 2 years for it to come down, but you can see that this one is just slowly dying off. The games are being played, and the games are being played very nastily. Nothing bullish about this as long as you're below about 230 now. Just hot garbage. I mean, the weekly's still not too bad, but the monthly's still not too bad either. You know, maybe I hold my tongue on that for the time being. Might end up regretting that for the short term. Sushi Yum Yums, what's up, man? Hey, Krown, Ricey hit the 190 target. Could you take a look at the 4-hour daily? Sure. Yeah, bullshit. It worked, huh? Let's see. Yeah, it did hit 190, almost $2 right there. I think it could extend this a little bit more, somewhere up to about 220 to 2.25 or so. 4-hour. Does it come back down and fill the gap first at around 180 to 185? Maybe yes. I mean, we are seeing a lot of redlining of BBWP. Even the 4-hour jewel is like way the fuck up there. And, you know, it's not like a top signal. It's just, it would be saying that it probably does play out a short-term downside move. I'd say like 185 to 190 is completely fine. I wouldn't necessarily be looking for a reversal as long as you're especially above about 180 in this case. Until then, I do think that this one does charge a little bit higher, somewhere around the weekly 55, which is 220 or so. Again, you know, this is a pretty decent move here. So while I do think that it will extend up there, I could actually extend that target a lot more depending upon how this monthly closes. But at least for right now, I'd be looking at 220. Maybe let's take it off the log scale. Yeah, that's a real chart right there. Still a shitty chart, but short term up. Yeah, I do think it still has some more on the weekly, especially. It's good. What's up, Mr. Solverine? Would you mind taking a look at the weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly for Teller? God damn it, this fucking thing again. All right, here we go. TELL. All right, let's see what we got. We're looking at a week. We got a monthly right here. Okay, weekly. Still up. I'd be looking at like 480 or so. Bi-weekly looks good, actually. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing actually head up to like 6.25 or so. Monthly, obviously this one's going to have a trend reversal, a confirmed reversal above 520 on a monthly closure. I don't know if it does it this month. Probably not this month. But I would not be bearish on this thing above $3 on a monthly, if that's what you're asking about. Daily's continuation as well, back up to like 460 to 470 or so. This looks good. It looks good, at least for those time frames. Long term, never going to be a fan of a chart like that. But quarterly is a bit of a reversal posturing right here. Big volume on that last major low too. Maybe this actually is it. I expect that this one is going to, I actually do expect that this one does go higher. Good. Again, invalidation below about 311, 320 or so. But pretty damn good. Pretty damn good, man. Good shit on that one, because I know that you've been long on that one since like 290. So you're in a phenomenal position right there. Very easy. Let's see. Mr. BK says AVAX USD. Sure. Yeah, let's check this one out. AVAX. Okay. AVAX versus the dollar. Should we do a general overview on this one? Where are we at right now? Yeah, we got the pullback from yesterday. Okay, interesting. I don't. Check out over here. I'm inclined to say short term down. With 4 hours says yeah. 4 hour agrees. 4 hour agrees. Below 70. I'd be looking for further pullback. All right, let's report this one. Here we have Avalanche, symbol AVAX versus the dollar, and we have the pullback that we spoke about yesterday, and I would actually be looking for this one to pull back a little bit more today as well, probably somewhere down around about low 60 to 62 to maybe 62.25 or so for the short term. Again, long term, still a very good chart, among the best charts in cryptocurrency land for the time being, but and of course the monthly is absolutely phenomenally powerful. $62 would very, very likely be a nice little bouncy bounce, but I want to see how the monthly close comes up in a couple of days here. And if it does close anywhere above about $62, I would be looking for, maybe a somewhat mostly sideways October and very likely new highs in November. But this is still very, very good on the higher term time frame. So short term, yeah, I do think it does come down here, 62.5 to 62 even or so. We do see 4 hour Stokes about to fresh cross down below 70 and change. We do see daily is already coming down and will be downside as long as below 78. So this one is in a bit of a short-term corrective posturing. Weekly would be problems below about 64 on a closing basis, and 5-day just closed yesterday, and that's showing 54. So actually still okay right there, but man, that is exaggerated. 12 are going to be 71 as well. So short-term, medium-term very likely carries on with the correction downwards to low 60s. If 62 does fail, I would be looking for a deeper correction somewhere around about 55 or so, and then come back to it after that. Yeah, for right now, I would invalidate this. Meaning that I would say that that's not going to happen if this thing does trade back above essentially yesterday's high, which is 72.75, or a closing 4 hour above about 71.25. Then I would be looking for a move back up to 75.25 to 76.5, and continuation in early October. But for right now, I do think that it pulls back first, finds a short term low at about low 62 or so, and then if that area fails, I'd be looking at mid 50s and then judge the monthly closure. But overall, long term still good, short term, medium term pullback territory. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Avalanche. Cool. Reed Harvey says, "Don't hate the player, hate the chart." Yeah, there we go. That's what it's all about, man. I always want to reiterate, when I'm talking shit about a chart, please understand I'm talking shit about a chart, not about you as a human being. You're probably great as a human being. You're just a person. You're just a person, not a fucking chart, man. You don't need to associate yourself with the chart. You don't need to put your name into the chart, by the way. That's where things get weird, isn't it? But I already went on that tirade yesterday. I'm sorry, I should just trade Microsoft, but I'm a Virgin. Wish, medium long term. Good, sir. Many thanks. Sure. All right, so Wish. Where have I heard about this thing before? Okay. Doesn't ring a bell. It looks like shit. Wish. Looks like shit, man. Looks like shit. Long term, medium to long term. Okay, daily I'd say is medium on this one. Could very easily have a move back up to 665. Long term, terrible, just god awful. Only goes down, literally only goes down. This is linear scale. This is log. Not too much of a difference right there. Monthly, probably new all-time lows before end of year, if I had to guess. Short-term corrections up to like 660 to 665 is completely fine. Even up to $8 if this one wants to, but extremely bearish as long as you're below about 10.5. I'd just be looking for general continuation. In short term, I do think that it will pop up here. I do think that it will pop up somewhere around like 665 at the very least, and then come back to it after that. You know, if you start to clear back above 730, I'd extend targets to 8.25 or so. But long term, very, 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 very bad right here. Very bad. Hopefully that was helpful. I'm going to take a sip of this water as well. DJ Fresh Vince says Moon Boy's disliking already. Let's see what the dislikes are at right now. Yeah, ratio's pretty good right now. Ratio's pretty good. We got a lot of dislikes. That's good. I always like the person who dislikes this video before, like literally when it's still in the waiting format. I think I have an idea of who it probably is, but it's like, man, what sort of hell does your brain have to be in to literally have an alert for someone's stream so that you could wake up in the middle of night just to fucking dislike? It's like, all right. One way to live your life, man. One way to live your life. I do sincerely hope that it works out for you though, sir, because the world would probably be a better place if we could just get you on board as well. Anyways, all good, man. Just like the video, it actually helps the YouTube algorithm for what it's worth. It actually does. It's you. All right, there he is. Get him! Just kidding, man. Look, if you want to dislike the video, dislike the video. It's all good. It's all good. It actually does help the YouTube algorithm just as much as a like does, from what I understand. So, those jokes on you. Yeah, 69 dislikes, says Poncho. There you go, man. Okay, cool. Alex Gang, or no, sorry, I skipped you, Mr. DL. Let's see. Check UK oil. Okay, and buy XOM and AR on the weekly, please. Sir, we can only one at a time, man. There's too many people here today. Gotta do a shit ton of them. This is really good. Oil is very, very good. At least UK oil is very, very good. I imagine XOP is going as well. This one's very likely going to make its move towards 86.5 and probably continue on from there. This is accumulation over the past 5 to 6 years, and I suspect that this one's, you know, over the next couple of years going to work its way back up above $100. I do want to check out XOP because I actually used to trade this one, although I fucking hated it. Right at resistance right there, but I suspect that this one's going to pull through. This is a really strong read on weekly RSI. And major movement after this is obviously a reversal right here. I think this one probably pushes through and finds its way like $1.12, $1.13 or so. It's good, very, very good. Alex Gangur says Henlo Krown. What is Henlo? Is that like a different language or something? Because you're not the only person who says that. I need to look this up, man. What is it? I'm guessing it means hello. Henlo is another way of saying hello. It is obviously slang, and people use it during chatting or texting online. Huh. It's a new one for me, man. I really am a boomer. I don't know these things anymore. That's fucking weird. Bitcoin bi-monthly bearish divergence is there bi-monthly bearish divergence. Let's go double check. Let's confirm first. Okay, so is there bearish divergence? Well, actually, I guess there would be. In this case. But the thing is that your bearish divergence was over here, and you already corrected down to the 10 simple, and this is only one drive in a very far amount away. If you're looking at bearish divergence in this fashion from very far back, in this case, in only one drives, the 10 simple is actually usually going to be an easy target. The 21 still relevant, but that will come up naturally on the next tick, probably to like maybe mid 20s or maybe even upper 20s or so. I do think that it'd be relevant to say that it's probably played out if you're looking for that one. You want to see 3 drives before you look for the 21. We don't have that right here. It's already pretty damn far away to begin with, so I don't like being aggressive on those, and that would be a pretty aggressive target. So I'm inclined to say probably not. At least not right now, man. I don't really look for it. I actually really don't think Bitcoin's going below $30,000 unless if you close a weekly below about 32. Until then, I think another move down to like 32 to 34 is completely fine. Poncho says, let's get 69 dislikes. The Legend LEZ says, crowdfunding for Scott's mom's fleshlight. Wait, what? Is she not cleaning that? And we've been fucking with the same fleshlight, sir. It's not good. We will eat virtual food too, says Go Hans Mom. I'm sure at some point, man, they're gonna be able to like hook into your fucking brain and make it make you feel the same sensations as you would as if you were actually eating, you know, and then you'll just take like a little pill or something, probably something like that. It'll be really, really trippy, man. And I don't think we're that far away from it. Especially like when you listen to Elon Musk talk, it seems like, you know, maybe 10 to 20 years, we'll be able to communicate with each other without even speaking. That is fucking strange to think about, man. Who knows what the hell is going to happen by that time? Philson says you should watch Sword Art Online. What's that? Is it like is it a show or what is it? Sounds like something I could be interested in. I still need to buy my own sword. What's up, Salmon Crunches? Okay, PayPal. Yes, PayPal. This is something that I used to watch a lot as well. I never traded myself though. On NAS, down. No. Down back to 266 or so. Weekly is kind of a breakdown here as well. I actually might extend those targets significantly down to 250, but first things first move down to like 265, probably a bounce there. Another lower high on that bounce, and then yeah, send it down a little bit further. Again, long term, very good. You know, these are corrective moves, obviously, but yeah, looking like a setup for short term down. Hopefully that was helpful, sir. Dan Sholem says, Algo, 4-hour daily weekly. Okay, you have a great day as well, sir. All right, let's go to this one. Where are we at? Kind of losing its luster on this one. This one was looking really good last week. Now looking a lot more corrective. I would be looking for another move down to like 150 or so weekly. You know, again, long term this is good, but you know we do have that bearish divergence on the weekly. I'd be looking for the correction down somewhere around the 10 symbol, which will rise up to about $1. I think it was $1.50 or so. Yeah, I'd be looking for one more bounce at $1.50 and then come back to it after that. Below $1.50 on a daily would look pretty damn nasty for a further retracement down to like 120, but for right now, just short term down. And if we're looking at like very short term time frames, like a 4-hour, I do think it's very relevant that you might see one more bounce off of 163 first before that next move down. But assuming that the bounce fails to get back up about 185 right here, I'd be looking for that to, well, just be your distributive formation right here. We can just draw it out like this. Hey, stop that. Something like this. And yeah, very likely target the 6-way in this case, which should actually be much further down than that. So hopefully that was helpful. But this one starting to cough up a lot of its gains. Not good. Not good. Cool. Fair enough. Jesus Christ, man. Again, I do want to reiterate this, of course, not financial advisor, not a financial advisor. I can never tell you what to do. I can never tell you what's right for you, because at the end of the day, you know your positions, you know what you're looking for, like medium, short, short, medium, long term, and what those even mean to you as well. I can just give you my opinion on certain time frames, and then hopefully that's in some way helpful. I hope you can save what is coming. Can I save what is coming? Can I save it? No, I'm not Jesus, man. I can't change what is coded into reality, sir. Krown's been using the fleshlight since Elsa is gone. Can you blame me? I got it molded after her. It's great. Goleka says, bruh, I want that big and thick red sausage. Wreck me bears. I'm just reading the comments over here, but you know what? I'm gay for Tia as well. Give me those red dildos, baby. Shove them down my fucking girthy throat. Man, this has got to be like the weirdest. This has got to be the weirdest community for someone to just kind of step into. Like, if this is your first time on the stream, man, you're probably just shaking your head, being like, "What the fuck is wrong with these people? and why is this curly-headed fuck talking so much?" Fair enough. That is a very reasonable question to be asking, and I do not have a reasonable answer for you. So leave while it's still while you still can. Chris Hudson says, do you ever look at Bitcoin logarithmic growth curves? Yes, I do. In fact, I've been looking at that for months now. And this one's actually starting to be a little bit more concerning as well, coming into the end of this month specifically. I think it's on this chart right here. Yeah, you're talking about this one right here. The reason why this one's very interesting right here is because on the weekly, we are about to break down the yellow region, and that would imply move back down to the green region, which is right around my targeted region of about 33 to 34,000 bucks. it would appear to be a nuke. Let's see. TSR says, you know, crypto banta. I'm not familiar with them. Hire people for good comments. They reward the same people. So who is being paid for nice comments in this channel? Who's being paid? Well, I'm paying everyone, just in nanos. So it'll hit your account soon enough, and then we can go about our lives still being nice and positive for this channel. Thank you. Nimbo says, we are all paid here, sir. If you haven't been paid, please email @ToneVase and we will issue you a refund for your time, for all the money that you paid. Manuel Avina says, I'm late to the party, my friend. All good, man. Thoughts on CELR? Okay, so this is the one I think that we were looking at yesterday that was looking good. Let's see where it's ended up today. Still looks okay, but I do expect that it does correct downwards first before anything else. Based off the daily, 4 hours says the same thing as well. I'll be looking down towards 14.25. Weekly, still long-term very, very good. 14.25, I'd be looking for a bounce maybe as low as 13 on a wick, but you know, long-term good. I'm never going to hate a chart that looks like this, or especially this. But I would be looking for a pullback short and medium term. Again, somewhere around 14 cents, maybe a little bit below there or so. Okay. Oh, Elsa's here. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Everyone act cool. Brian K says CFX USD. Okay, this is a new one. CFX. Okay. Let's see. What the ever-loving fuck is this? I don't know how much I trust indicators on this, but short term it is suggesting up, back up to like 42.5 cents. This is a problematic though, you might say. I do think that it might have like one more move up. I mean, actually it does look like short term it wants to pop back up there, but you know what I'm going to say about this thing long term. I mean, there's just absolutely nothing bullish about this thing as long as you're below about 60 cents, but short term, does it pop back up towards like 42.5, maybe even 45 cents, possibly yes, but holy fucking moly, man. Long term, that is a death nail of a chart, dear lord. Wow, that is impressively bad. What does this thing do, man? Just goes down is what it does. Oh, you're looking at it. Yeah, we did the 4 on daily. All good, man. And yeah, man, of course I remember you from 2017 and 2018, Mr. Brian K, one of the first OGs of this cave. It's always really, really cool to see people from like way back when still here, man. Like that's impressive too. I mean, you've lived like a lifetime already as far as market cycles go. Like you need to live like 20 to 30 years in traditional markets to see what we've seen in the last 3 to 4 years in Bitcoin. Cool. Robert Como says, why do you say Bitcoin is an ascending triangle and not a symmetrical triangle? Because well, if you know how to draw your well, first off, symmetrical triangles I do not think work. First off, symmetrical triangles, anything that has a diagonal boundary that you use for a breakout typically does not work. And then you're probably going to say, but there's a diagonal boundary for a descending or an ascending variety. Yes, but you can use the prior high, the prior low as a continuation point. So that makes it a lot more obvious. In this case right here, is this a symmetrical triangle? Fuck no, it's not, man. Look, you got the same lows. This is your key. You got the same lows right there. Spike, spike, spike. And you got your declining highs right here. It's a descending triangle. Very, 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 very obvious. I mean, it is a good question, yes, but why, you know, you're basically drawing it like this. First off, you don't even want it to be a symmetrical triangle to begin with because they have a much lower hit rate than your other varieties of technical formations. In this case, you know, if we do pop back above the last local high, I'd still be looking at a move towards about $47,000 by extension to the downside. I mean, it's gonna be the same targets anyways, or very, very close to them. 38.5 is what it would be. But when we did do it earlier, you could see that the technical target off of the ascending triangle was directly in line with the weekly 55, which is really good influence right there, especially when looking at like a potential major breakdown, like we're kind of on the precipice right now. So I suppose that's why also just, you know, shapes essentially. Salmon Crunches says, can we check out DKNG? DraftKings. Oh, it's DraftKings. Bouncy, but bouncy. Yeah, it's probably bounces again from like just under $50. I'd be looking for, you know, bounce back up somewhere around about 54.5 to $55 and then trade sideways for a while. I don't think that this is long-term bad, but I do think that it's going to be long-term ranging here between about, I don't know, like 58 high and about 46 low. Something like that. In short term, very likely test the upside. Yeah, you're looking at it daily. They're getting in on that Tiger Woods NFT money. Is that like a thing? Oh, they're getting the NFTs as well. Yeah, that's like the new thing, is like just add fucking NFTs to your business model, and voila, you can pump it up as well if you want a little bit of liquidity to get out of your shitcoin stock. No, this is not a shitcoin stock. It's actually, you know, pretty good over the history of time, but short term up, long term just range here though. Not too interesting long term yet. I think it's going to take like a lot more time. Donna says, hi, could you please look at Ethereum USD on the 4-hour daily? Sure. Go over here. Actually record this one as well. Here we have Ethereum, symbol ETH versus the dollar. And what do we have? We have a silver cross incoming alongside a nice consolidation right below the green 55, which is typically a nice bearish setup. Of course, it will be invalidated with any sort of a move back above yesterday's high, which is 31.66, or a closing high above about 31.25. One of those two things would obviously invalidate this, and I would be looking for a move back up towards somewhere between about 3350 to 3400 or so. However, short term, you know, this is downside angled, being governed by the 10 symbol right here. Would be looking for another move down around these last few wick lows to like 2750 or so, assuming that Bitcoin moves in that same direction as well. What do we have going on right here? We do have an ever so slightly lower high, but it is a lower high at that, albeit, you know, very what did I draw right here? I think I drew an M. M is for murder. Let me get rid of this for right now because it's not helping. You know, short term, I mean, you are in a bit of a range, but this is a redistributive format right here, especially completing below all major moving averages, which is usually not a good sign and very likely does lead towards continuation. However, would I be looking for another bounce off of, like, you know, somewhere between about 2750 to 2800 first? Probably yes. It's probably going to be easier to watch Bitcoin for general moves here as well, below about 40, I think it was 41,000 bucks or so for continuation. But again, you know, bearish, short, medium, and even long term, as long as you're below about 3160 above there, I would look for another move back up towards 3350 to 3400 or so. Would look okay with that. It would start to look a lot more like a potential bear trap in the making. But as long as Bitcoin's below 45,000 bucks, it's kind of hard to be thinking that. Of course, you know, another move down somewhere right around here very likely does bounce it. However, over time, where are we looking at on the weekly? The weekly 21 is right around 2800. So again, I do think that you will bounce it once again right there. However, if this one does start to break down, and let's say Bitcoin breaks below 40,000 bucks. So I'm not saying that this is going to happen, although I do think that it is, you know, somewhat likely, and Bitcoin does work its way to like low 30s or mid 30s. You probably will find Ethereum somewhere around 24, probably somewhere between about 23 and 2400 or so over time. So with that in mind, 4-hour right here, short term down. Do you see 4-hour RSI playing out the hidden bearish divergence from yesterday, and also operating below the exponential right there? We do see over here, as far as momentum oscillators go, from a Stochastic perspective, we do see 12-hour will be crossing down below 2860. Daily is going to freshly cross down today with a closure below 3127 in the bearish control zone as well, so that is not good. It's typically what you do see precipitating a breakdown. 4-hour will remain to the downside as long as below 3100 or so, and hourly is flipping up right now, but 2920 is the magical number on that one, and doesn't look too strong for the time being. So again, invalidation points are very important for something like this, obviously, just as is Bitcoin as well. But as long as things below the last lower high, which is 3140 or so, don't really have a reason to change opinions on that. Now we do have the quarterly closure coming in at the end of Thursday day, that is. And how's this one looking for right now? Looks okay. I mean, if it closes above especially 30,000 bucks, I actually would be looking at that as generally good coming into end of year, but that's more long term, obviously. And that could still come alongside of a test down to 23 to 2400. So, you know, Ethereum, I do like it long term still, just short term and medium term, very likely some downside moves. And I don't really have anything bullish to be looking at here as long as you're above about 3140 or so. And again, above there, I'd be looking for a nice move. And maybe this even turns out to be like a major bear trap. But for what it's worth right now, you know, one's starting to break structure a lot, so I am more inclined to say a downside first before anything else. And like I said, you know, short term probably does play another downside move here, and probably does bounce again. How high does the bounce get? Anywhere below 3,000 bucks is just another lower high. So hopefully that was helpful, and there you go for Ethereum. Okay, cool. Let's see, Maximiliano, Mr. Palma says, good morning, Krown. Hey, good morning to you as well, man. FTM, daily for the culture. All right, daily for the culture. Nice. Phantom over here. Good. Very good, actually. It was good. Interesting. Hey, let me check how many videos I have, because I might want to record one on this one. This is, man, another very interesting day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fuck it, we can do it. All right, here we have Phantom symbol FTM versus the dollar. I have a little coffee burp coming up. Sorry about that. Short term looking pretty good. And again, this video is being recorded on the 28th of September, and most things are hanging on to the ropes right now in this market. This one not amongst those. This one actually already looks like it played out its correction, and I would be looking for a short to medium term move back up to about 145 or so. This is good. Invalidation on this would obviously be below about 123. I would be looking for another retest of the current lows down around $1, but overall, a much more impressive chart than many of the things that we've seen today, which does deserve a lot of respect. There's 2 days left in the trading month to go. Any sort of a closure above basically here or higher is going to look pretty damn good for end of year. Maybe not necessarily October, but end of year. Let's see what it looks like here, and then let's talk about what would happen below invalidation as well. 4-hour remains, or sorry, hourly remains up as long as above 135. 4-hour remains up as long as above about 123. 12-hour is freshly up as long as above about 122. Good. And daily is also freshly up as long as above about 114.5. One of the more interesting charts that we've seen today, certainly. And again, if it does take out 1.25 to the downside, I would look for another move down to about $1 even to $1.10. I would change around to bearish on this overall below $1 on a daily. Until that happens, and I'd be targeting moves like way down to like 60 to 69 cent or so. But until that happens, one of the more impressive charts. Another drive of hidden bullish divergence on the daily right here as well. Daily Jewel also got the low. I just want to see volatility start to tick up, which has been actually trending down throughout the whole correction. That's a good sign. Yeah, I'd be looking up, man. This is good. One of the more interesting charts, certainly. So thank you for that one, and hopefully that was helpful. Wow, yes, we definitely see a lot of them now. A lot of them, man. Mandan says banter is the worst showing. What is banter? I don't know what it is. Nanos will flip Bitcoin, says Zerderb. Right, man. Nanos flipping Bitcoin because they have an actual use case. Are stablecoins safe? I'm staking with DAI. I don't know. I'd say that, you know, nothing is like technically safe in this land because, well, here's the thing is like, if you're talking about staking and you're talking about stable coins, that seems to be what regulators really want to go after right now. If you listen to Gensler talk, it seems very, very obvious that, you know, these staking services are going to be under like, you know, like a hot fucking microscope soon enough because, well, they're competing with banks basically, and they don't like that. So you know, that's no more crazy than that. What's up, Simply Gains? Microsoft on the yearly is parabolic. Impressive. Sure. Let's check it out. I'm sure it is, man. When I traded Microsoft, it was $35, and by the time that I stopped trading it, it was like, it wasn't even the hundreds. I don't think. I think it was like 50 to it was like 60 or 70 or maybe as much as 80, if I recall. Is it parabolic on the yearly? I mean, it's parabolic probably everywhere. Yeah, man, this is just, it's phenomenal, man. It's a phenomenal chart. One of the best charts in the world over multiple decades, going back to 86, actually. Really fucking good, man. Really, really fucking good. So this is, this is like where I learned a lot of my actual own trading. It does look like it's getting ready for a correction here, though. Wouldn't mind 280. Wouldn't even mind 250 over the next few months, but that would even still be long-term bullish, to be fair. That's the crazy thing about this, man. The strong get stronger and the weak get weaker. The strong get stronger and the weak get weaker. That's like very much obtuse to what I think a lot of people intuitively want to think about markets. They think of it as like an average where it's like, oh, this one went down so much, so it's going to be a lot easier to bounce. Kind of, maybe. But typically the ones that are acting well continue to act well. And Microsoft is definitely a good example of that, as is several others. Probably, I guess, some of the FANG stocks, right? Dan S says, could you do a long-term analysis on the 111-day moving average on Bitcoin? One of the two moving averages for the Pi cycle top indicator, thinking that we only tank when we lose it. I can. Let's see. I think I have it here somewhere. I think it's maybe on this chart. Let me just double check. Jesus Christ. Let's see. Ooh, what's our dislikes looking like right now? Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, guys really hate me. Okay, cool. So what was it going to be? Yes, the pi cycle, right? And you're looking at the 111. Let's just see which one it is first. Okay, it's a short. That means it is going to be, well, let me just get rid of the long one then. Oh, I actually can't just get rid of one. You know what? Let's just fucking do it over here. Well, we can do it right here. All right. So basically, what are you saying? That the 111 acts as a support and resistance for Bitcoin. And that's going to be the orange one, I'm guessing, right? Bitcoin's above it, good. When Bitcoin's below it, bad. And where is it currently situated? Oh man, you know exactly where it is. $41,000. So there you go. You know, there's the problem with looking at something like that, and this one does seem to work pretty damn well, to be fair. You know, there's always a time frame, there's always a period, there's always an indicator that's going to tell you what you want to know. And moving averages can, you know, I suspect the reason why a lot of people hate moving averages is because of that reason. First off, I didn't actually even check what time frame you're looking at there. Yeah, the day. Okay, it is on the daily. I mean, it generally seems to work out. Yes. I don't really have anything to add to it, but you know, I acknowledge it, and I acknowledge it as, you know, I mean, it's basically in the same area that I'm looking at for other things as well. So, you know, confluence right there. Perhaps worth paying attention to, yeah. And if Bitcoin does lose it, I'm looking for a dump down to not fucking 38. Although there's probably a bounce there, I'm looking for a dump down to low 30s. Yeah, I suppose I generally agree. Yeah, it's worthwhile. I mean, it seems like it holds up relatively well here. Not perfect, as is nothing, but fair enough. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I don't really have anything to add to that, but thank you for calling that one out, man. Here we go. Ooh, Bitcoin coming down. It's Goblin Town time. Okay. Nimbo says, PSA, Bybit users, make sure you register to get your free BitDAO tokens. Only 2 hours left to claim them. Free money. What even is that? You have to aware me, Mr. Nimbo. What's up, Dodgymon? Steve from CryptoQ University bought sticks like on this channel. Maybe yes, man. They're going up too, man. He's paying them big time, baby. Let's see. Hanny Shamout says, good entry price for Link. I don't know what your fucking strategy is, man. I don't know what your are you looking to hold this for 5 minutes? Are you entering a long or a short? I don't fucking know. Exited my position earlier today, but looking to get back in. Okay, so looking to get back into a long or a short, probably a long. Look, I can't give you like straight up financial advice, and without even a fucking time frame. Like, look, man, you're gonna probably ask this question because, you know, you just want to know, right? It's a reasonable thing. Like, you just want to know, especially when you're newer. You just want to fucking know. And the problem is that if you ask this question on the internet, there's going to be some people who give you an answer. You didn't even give a fucking time frame, or like what your investment thesis is, or like what you're looking to do. Are you looking to hold this for years? Or are you looking to hold this for minutes? I don't fucking know, man. There's no way that I could possibly give you a good analysis just based off that. What I can tell you though is that, do I think this thing's going to dump down to like $16? Probably yes. Do I think there's going to be a bounce in between there, somewhere around about $21? Probably yes. I don't know if that's relevant to you or not. I have no fucking clue. But overall, do you think that this one does come down? Okay, all right. Hopefully that was helpful, man. I hope I say that in a respectful manner as well. But like, be careful, man, because, you know, I mean, if you're looking to enter into a short, I mean, I think you had your short entry yesterday, and you have a very easy way to manage it back above about 25.5. Again, I don't know based off of just the sentence on the interwebs. TSR has a great question. Can anyone tell me about the Walton chain? Is it a scam or have a future? Well, my very well English literate friend, we can go look at the old Walton chain. Walton chain. Walton chain, if I recall, I even remember. Oh, I do. It's a Chinese shitcoin. Why would Chinese name their shitcoin Walton when they can't even fucking say that name properly?
It is a Walton chain here, and we have a future, but the future is a wrecked past, where we go to a goblin town. So you invest now, and you lose all of your cash. Yes, it is future of poor. And we go back down to the 30-cent region. Hi!
Does it have a future? Yeah, it has a future. It has a future in the fucking gutter, man. It looks absolutely dog shit. That looks bullish, yeah. I love a weekly down. I just love something that just only goes fucking down. Only fucking down. Look, and I don't mean to sound, and I don't say that initial statement, like with Chinese calling their shitcoin fucking Walden. It's like, it would just be the same thing as me naming like my own shitcoin, I don't know, like something in Chinese or Japanese, which I don't know how to pronounce. It would just seem very bizarre and very strange, and seems to me like they just want someone to get in their fucking coin because of false promises, most likely. But hey, I don't fucking know. I'm just speculating right here, and I could be completely wrong about that. You know what? I am completely wrong about this one. Here's the real analysis, sir. Is there a future in this one? You're goddamn right there is. You're motherfucking right there is, and you asked the exact right question for that. 5,800% and not a single fucking cent less, and that's my break even. So there you go, man. I don't know what else to tell you. Look, it's a pure pump and dump, very obviously. Speculatively, obviously. There might be another pump at some point. There's very likely to be another dump at some point as well. I would be looking for this one to find its way back down to 30 cent and probably lower over time, however. Huge ass titty says, thanks for the stream, sir, daddy. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Let's see. Okay, we got a few more. Panyok says, hey, Krown, Bobby here. What's up, Bobby? Can you check out Hertz? I bought at the Rona dump and looked out okay, HT's easy. Okay, we'll do this one. Easy. It's Z's, man. Z's, bro, says to buy this one. Actually looks good. Actually looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. What time frame? So 4 on weekly. That's quite the spread, but fair enough. I'd be looking for this one to continue rally up to like 21 bucks or so. Daily's good. Weekly's good. It might range between about 21 and the current lows at like 16 bucks, but overall I do like this chart. Nothing really bearish about it as long as it's above 16 bucks. Long term, I think that it finds its way to 24 and probably beyond. It's good. Cool. Michael Mariscata wants to look at VSTM. Okay. We have a real stock here, so this is good. Can look at some real shit. Veristem. Oh, god damn it, man. You chose a shitcoin of its stock. Why? I foresee another higher high incoming. You do? All right, well, that's something that we can agree to disagree on, sir. Might as well be a crypto. Might as well be a crypto on a weekly. I mean, it probably does trade up here back up to like $4. Okay, you're talking about a higher high above this one? Yeah, I do think it's possible. A higher high above this one? Probably not. Well, at least not anytime, in my opinion, anytime soon. I do think that weekly does have another tick up, probably up to like $4 or so, and then I want to come back to it after that. I would have a very difficult time getting like bullish for a higher high here as long as you're below about 420 actually. An easier to remember number as well. Modeling since 310. Well, you're in profit, so that's good. Where'd I invalidate this? Where'd I invalidate this and look for Goblin Town targets yet again? No, short term it is okay. Back down below $3 is risk on that one. Go Lucky says, bro, I think the reason you get dislikers is because most of the people are bankrupt because they think you cheer on Bear Bukake. That's why they are broke. Oh yeah, it's like me talking about bearish charts is literally making the charts go down. You know what's really funny is that people have this weird idea that YouTubers have any sort of influence at all. And you can disagree with me as much as you want on this, but I know this to be a fact. I know this to be a fact because I used to be on the other fucking side of this. And what am I talking about? Who actually moves the markets? Really big hedge funds or asset managers. Probably 3AC does, man. 3AC does. CMS, big firms like that move the markets. Retailers do not. Retailers all conglomerated, even if they were doing all the same fucking things as each other. In the world, which they're not, because I mean all these communities are fragmented anyways, would just be a drop of piss in the ocean versus what a big like fund can do. And I know that to be a fact, and I can assure you of that fact. You can look into the data and statistics yourself. But I used to be on the other side of that as a market maker, or a market maker authorized trader. To be fair, makes like difference right there. You know, having authorization to trade, and like we used to do business with those big entities, usually banks, sometimes some funds as well, and they were just like. Just blows anything else out of the water. It just doesn't even doesn't make a fucking difference. Dan Sholem says, any thoughts on trading harmonic patterns, Gartley patterns? Been seeing some of this recently. I think it's fine. I know a few guys who use it as their main drivers. I know that Mitch Ray is big on it, and he's pretty fine. I know a couple guys in the Discord like Sanctum use it. I also see a lot. I do think that there's a lot of there's a high degree of animosity within them, meaning that just like any analysis, really, like if someone who doesn't really know what the fuck they're talking about starts doing Gartleys, it just makes it look bad, right? Same thing like with moving averages. You know, for most, a lot of the time, moving averages are just fucking memes. But in the way that I use them, they're a major part of my trading. Big part of my trading. So, can they work? Absolutely yes. Do I know some successful traders with them? Absolutely yes. Do I would I subscribe to like every fucking Gartley or harmonic out there on Twitter land? No, probably not, man. So as always, it depends. Like, make sure that the person can verify, right? But yeah, it is legitimate. I've definitely seen it. And, when it comes down to it, especially with those sort of things, what I typically find is the most like interesting and relevant portion of it is the fact that you get, is the fact that they're basically based, they're basically based off of like a lot of fib extensions and whatnot. And so that's going to be in line with a lot of like the algo and bot targets. So it does make sense theoretically. It's just, I think that there's a high degree of like, there's just a high degree, as with anything else, of just, people kind of like drawing fucking Jesus toast on their charts. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. John Jude says, morning, dude. What's up, man? Considering buying Mina USD below 350, is it fuck or not? Fuck or not? Check this one out. I remember this one was on the winners list yesterday, so see where she's at. You want to buy, okay, why do you want to buy a piece of shit? Hey sir, I got this turd sandwich if you'd like to buy it. Check out my fucking toilet later too, man. You want to buy it at 350. Why 350 would be my question to you. What is at 350 that makes any sense? I suppose maybe you're just kind of buying like the last fucking sideways, you want to call that accumulation? Maybe it is. I'm not so sure about that. There's not really enough history here for me to think that this is relevant to begin with. Do I think that there's going to be a bounce around there? Yes, I do think that there will be a bounce around there. But what I see here is I see a parabolic move to the upside and then a parabolic move to the downside thus far. To me, this is a pump and dump until proven otherwise. Again, it's not really fair to say that just yet because it hasn't been around for too long. But that is the data that we have. So if I'm looking for a bounce around there, yeah, I'd agree. A little bit lower, actually, more like 3.25 to 330. Maybe 3.5. Anywhere around there is probably fine. I mean, this one's pretty damn wicky. But would I say that that's like a good technical long-term sort of thing? I wouldn't trust it myself, but that's for you to decide, of course. Just change your TA until it suits your bias. Exactly. Okay, cool. Okay, we got that one. Basically looking good for October bounce. Yeah, I do think that it will be a tradable bounce probably within there. So yeah, it's it sounds like we're probably on the same line right there. What's up, Dogoshi? Hey, Krown, can you check out SCI on? Oh, it's a real stock. Okay, SCI shipping in. Oh no, this one, Service Corporation. Okay, what time frames you're looking at? Monthly, weekly, daily. Worked it down from there. Monthly, toppy. Weekly. Weekly's toppy as well, but I don't think it's going to actually play out like a massive downside move, or at least not yet. I do think it will come down to like 59.25 or so. Daily. A little bit of hidden bearish burns on that last high, but I don't think that's too problematic. Actually, let's go to a quarterly. Yeah, quarterly is still pretty good, so I'm not bearish on this one long term, but I would be looking for a bit of a downside move. anywhere down around like your major weeklies, somewhere around like 59 to 60 bucks or so, and probably trade sideways for a while. Long term, very good. Quarterly closure coming up, and that's what I'm mostly basing this off of. Anywhere above 60 bucks going to look really, really good. Hidden bullish divergence on the last low, and this one's already a new all-time highs. So I'm inclined to say that this one probably does continue after some short-term, relatively short-term. This is sideways between about 63.5 and perhaps all the way down to like 59 or 58.5, something like that. All right, cool, fellas. I am going to wrap up Bitcoin here, and then I'll send you off on your very merry way, and all good from there. All right, cool. Let me just set up these charts really, really quickly. Let's get Bitcoin over here. Boom. Okay. Get this one right here. Right. Don't need this one. Don't need. And maybe we do want this one actually. Actually, it's kind of interesting right there. All right. Here we have Bitcoin symbol BTC versus the dollar. Looking at CME chart right here, we got a lot of very interesting things going on right now as the lower term timeframes are putting in a redistributive pattern after putting in a bit of a death cross right here, playing it out. And as long as below the 21 exponential average on this 4-hour time frame, I do look at this as essentially playable, as this does put in yet again another lower high and very likely retesting around our current lows at the low $41,000 to $41,500 region in this blue box territory right here. With that said, I would obviously invalidate everything that I'm about to say after this statement. If Bitcoin can trade and close, especially a 4-hour doodle back above 45,000 bucks, also 618 Fibonacci right there, or just trade above your 24th of September high. If one of those two things happens, I would be looking for Bitcoin to put in a move towards 47,000 bucks, maybe even complete the bear trap with moving onwards and upwards from there. And however, until that happens, Bitcoin, I do believe, is heavily bearish below 45,000 bucks, and we've been marching down that level ever since a couple weeks ago when Bitcoin put in this high right around here. And it's just been trend until ever since then. We do have hidden bearish divergence that Bitcoin's still playing out right here. And we do see that 4-hour jewel still downside angled alongside volatility, which is actually not taken up just yet, but we are consolidating right now, to be fair. With that in mind, I do want to go over here to the regular charts, and let's go look at the daily, of which, or sorry, actually over here. Yes, there we go. Onto the daily. We do have a silver cross that is happening in this fashion to the downside, whereas 55 coming in around basically 45,000 bucks, technically a little bit below there, but in line with that same area. So above there, I would invalidate everything, and this would look, pretty damn good actually. But for right now, we got major moving averages and a bearish posturing. 9 exponential average is governing for right now. BBWP is expanding above 50 percentile, so volatility is turning up alongside a lower high fashion, and this is very likely setting up for continuation to the downside. Daily jewels also might even tip on over there again. So how would I judge continuation to the downside, and where would targets be? Well, first things first, would I be looking for another bounce off of this bottom area right here? Sorry, actually, we can go back to this chart over here. Let's do this one. Boom. Okay. So would I be looking for another bounce off of 41,000 bucks or anywhere around there first? Yes, I would. I don't think that it's necessarily ready to break down just yet. Maybe tomorrow or probably Thursday, as these things do traditionally become a lot more statistically likely to break down when they're about 70 to 75% full right here. And I would judge that by either a 4-hour closure on new lows below about 41,000 bucks, or just a lower wick low than what we saw on the 24th of September. One of those two things would work for me. And then this does have a technical target from a descending triangle coming in all the way down at just below 37,000 bucks, which is in line with Bitcoin's last major low from early August. That is also confluent with what we see over here on the Bitcoin Lobs curve zones, which Bitcoin does look like it's about to lose the yellow zone. And if that happens, I do typically look for a test down to the green zone top side, and that is 33,500 bucks. Where is that also coming in from? Well, if we go over here to our CME chart, that is actually Bitcoin's last major gap that we do see from late July, in fact, between about 33 to 34,000 bucks. So short term, there will be bounce along the way. Obviously, I'd still be looking for another bounce off of 41,000 or so. But if we do start to actually break that level, I would be looking for the next move down to about 37 or so before the next sort of respectable bounce. And then very likely continuation over the next couple of weeks into that next major region. Again, invalidation is above 45,000 bucks. That'd look really, really good for Bitcoin actually. But until then, momentum oscillators are certainly downside angled. Daily Stokes down as long as we close today below 44.5. I'd even go as far as saying that as long as Bitcoin's below 44.5, or sorry, Bitcoin could even get back above 44.5, I might even call a bit of a bear trap there too. 12-hour is obviously going to be freshly crossing down with the closure below 42,000 bucks coming up a little bit later today. 4-hour is obviously down as long as below 43,700, and hourly is going to freshly cross down below 42,250 or so. So not looking too hot right there for the Bitcoin BULAs. at least for these timeframes. And well, I hope this one serves you well. With that said, take care and see you hopefully soon. Alrighty, sirs and sirs, it's been an absolute pleasure today. Major thank you for Nimbo for stepping on in. That was really, really helpful. And well, I want to wish everyone well. And hopefully this stream was in some way at least entertaining or fun. I do apologize for any sort of incessant or exaggerated emotions that I might have been going through, but hey, someone's got to be having fun over here, and hopefully you can be having fun as well. In fact, I'm sure that you are, because this market is completely full of all sorts of surprises and all sorts of fun. And with that said, I'm going to wish you well. I salute you, and hopefully see you very soon.
Write it, code it, name it, tweet it, mine it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it, and receive it. Trade it, buy it, sell it, store it, run it, list it, first rename it. Crypto logic. Pump it, hack it, lose it, dump it, sell it, ditch it, fix or pitch it, copy, paste it, nudge it,